Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time where we can relax and craft for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So tonight we are continuing on the Splendid Sampler 2. Later in the week, hopefully tomorrow, we will be starting on the octopus applique block. But tonight we are going to sew together a whole pile of our blocks, our finished blocks, so we can prep them for free motion quilting. So what we're basically doing is we're sewing 4 blocks together with some white sashing, and it has a little square right in the middle there. And then ultimately we will be free motion quilting them. So you can see this one I have done. This one is all free motion quilted just as a block. And then after that we will be combining all of our free motion quilted blocks with a sashing down the middle and kind of like a binding strip on the back. So this is 2 blocks that we've quilted first and then sewn together. So that process is called quilt as you go, and that is how we're going to construct this whole quilt. So tonight we're going to take a pile of finished blocks and sew them together in the 4s. We won't be quilting anything tonight, but we are prepping for that part. So we have these 2 sewn together, and then it's looking cute together. And then we actually have one whole row sewn together. So I'm doing 5 squares, or 5, our blocks that we're sewing together are 4 each, and I'm doing 5 of those together. So this is one of our rows completely done and completely quilted already. So that is how far we are on the quilt. So this plus the 2 extra in that other row that I just showed you. And here's the back. Even the back is really fun, I think, seeing all the quilting. So I'm trying to, this is like my attempt at practicing quilting. Oh, I like that one, the little sunset and the tree. So we are playing with quilting, practicing quilting, using this quilt as you go process. So again, I am just building up blocks. We'll throw this guy back here. Building up blocks and then sewing them together in 4s. That's what we'll be doing tonight. And then eventually we will get some batting, the backing, and quilt up a pile of these again. Then after that we sew them together and then we're good to go. So tonight we'll sew the blocks of 4 together, and then we're gonna sew some more blocks. Like I said, we're gonna work on that octopus applique block for the rest of the week. So we'll see how far we get tonight. On Friday we grouped together our blocks of 4. However, I did take a picture of the block that we finished, the willow tree, and I don't know what group this went with, so I'm hoping that reveals itself tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But I do have some groupings of 4, and we're going to get started on those tonight. We cut more of the sashing strips on Friday, so we should be all ready. We just have to trim them and sew. So let's do that. All right, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get started. Thank you again for joining me, everyone. So nice seeing everyone, especially after a weekend. It always feels like too long. Okay, so right in front of me is a grouping of 4, and I'm going to grab that as our first grouping. So let's get these fellers out of the way. These are my sashing strips and the little cornerstones. That's the little square that goes in the middle. I'm just going to set those aside. But this is kind of how I've been, I have stacks of these kind of laying all over here. But this is how I think I laid it out. So here is one of our groupings that we did last time around. I feel like I'm missing parts, but we'll see. So we need, I'm going to get you guys a little up higher here so you can see. All right, so we need sashing strips. So we got those here. And we need that cornerstone. So here are our pieces. So these are all 1 inch by 6.5 inches. One more. All right, and then I'm just taking the top one on the pile right here, and that will be our little centerpiece. So what I want to do is sew these rows together. However, we have some prep to do first. And the prep is, I did not trim all these down to 6.5 inches yet. So here is our 6.5 inch ruler. And the reason I haven't trimmed these yet is because of what we've been discovering when we quilt. So one thing that has been happening when we quilt is, we are gathering all this fabric, it's poofy, and all that extra poofiness pulls on the fabric a little bit. Like, that poofiness, all that takes like a little 1/16 of an inch here and a 1/16 of an inch there. That actually keeps pulling, and we end up with not enough. If you can tell, you can see the batting. So sometimes we end up with not enough fabric around, and later I have to add a little bit of fabric there, which is not ideal. So one thing we've been doing to counteract that a little bit is waiting to trim these until this point, because what I'm going to do, like for the example, this one is not trimmed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to center the design still, but I'm only going to trim the parts that are connected to the sashing. So I'm going to trim here and here. That way, it will still be centered, but we'll have some extra on the edges for when we quilt. So when the quilting pulls it in a little bit, we'll have that extra little leeway. Now, not all of them we were able to have that extra border around. It's easy when we're just appliquing onto a white square like this. But for example, this one, we won't have any extra. And actually, we're pretty shy on it as well. So this one, we might have to put in some white later. Yeah, we'll have to compensate with a little bit of sashing later. But like I said, we do have to trim a few of these down. We did sew some of these middle sashings together, so like these 3 pieces get sewn together, but I didn't do enough for everything. So I ran out of these sashing pieces, so I don't actually have enough for all the blocks we have. And I already paired them with some other blocks, so we're gonna sew these ones freshly. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by just scooching everything out of the way, and we're gonna take a look at what we have to trim for these. So let's start with this one. This one, like I said, I suspect we don't have to do anything. And you know what? I think I'm gonna press them as we go as well. So I'm gonna have, because these are, I didn't really press everything yet either. So okay, we definitely don't have enough on the sides, but I think I'm gonna deal with that during the quilting process. We'll sew a little bit more down. But another thing is that I want to align it all with the center area. So when I sew this, if it bleeds over the top a little bit, I'm going to just let that be. But I want these parts because this line here is what's going to match up with the next row. And then this top edge is what I'm going to match up these sashing bits with. So I'm going to press this, and then I can sew these two together. But let's prep this piece. So again, I want to center it. We'll give this a little press too. I'm just going to press it on the back. Just quickly. Okay. Scooch all these rulers out of the way. Okay, so I want to center this guy. And you know what? I'm going to even use my rotating cutting mat, because I think that's going to make things easier on me. Then my ruler won't run away from me. So, all right. Again, I'm trying to center it, and then I want to trim this side and this side. So I'm trying to get the amount of sunshine on the top and bottom I'm trying to equal the same amount. So we got like 3/4 of an inch there. Oh, only like 1/4 here. So we'll go like 1/2 inch on the sides. Then it's about 3/4. Ooh, maybe not quite. There. I think about that. Let's get it kind of straighter. All right, I think that looks good. So we're going to trim these two sides. All right. Get the rotating mat out. I think I rotated it again. So let's get that first side. Oh, it's always a little nerve-wracking doing this. Oop, and I moved it a little bit. Okay. I think we're okay there. I think I moved a little bit, but we will be good to go. So, there. So now the sun will still be centered. These guys are trimmed, but these, we have that, this side and this side, we have that extra border just to help us out with the free motion quilting. It'll suck that in a little bit, but we're good there. I know I'm using the glove, Barbara. I'm trying to stick to that. All right, so I'm still going to align it with the bottom when I sew, but you can see I got a little of that extra up there. And then this was the other one. I did want to press that quickly though. We'll press from the back. Start out. Sounds good, Patty. It's nice to hear about someone not having enough blocks yet. You know, a lot of people are just starting this project now, and that's totally, totally fine. We will be working on it for some time here yet, for sure. All right, this definitely flattened it out a bit. I still don't think we're at that 6.5 inch mark. Nope, I'm pretty shy on the edges here, so oh well. All right, so these two are ready. And then this is the next row that we'll sew together, but I want to get these bottom ones ready as well. So I'm going to scooch up. So now this one, instead of aligning the bottom, we're going to align the top, but I want to just see where we're at with the 6.5 inches, if I have to trim anything here. I don't think I will have to, but I'm just going to give it a little press here. Get it good and flat. And like I said, I've been kind of handling these a little bit, and I'm not even sure I've pressed all of them. So this is the time now. This is the time when I'm pressing and getting these good to go. All right, out of my way, blocks. All right, let's just give it a check quick. All right, this one again, I'm a little shy of the 6.5 inches, but so we're not going to trim this down at all. We're going to leave it as is. I suspect that's the same with this one, but let's give it a little press. Yeah, we're fine there. So we are ready to sew. And remember, I am going to make sure that I align this row with the bottom and this row with the top here. So, all right, we're going to do it that way that I'm not going to do the webbing style of sewing it together. I'm going to do, so these two, then these two, then these two, then I'm going to trim it off, and then sew these, then these, then these, then we'll press, and then I will sew the whole thing together, the 3 rows. So, all right, let's jump down to the machine. And I'm going to need some more leaders ready here. So I'm going to have my basket ready. My basket of leaders. It's getting messy here again. All right, I got one on, so I can start with that. Get my little light on. Little LED light bulb in there. Okay. top row. And again, I'm gonna sew so that the bottoms match. So here's some things to look at though. We have some points on here that I don't want to clip them off, and I want to try and sew on the point. So I'm actually going to flip this whole piece around and sew from this side. Make sure that everything is lined up, because then I can see where the seams meet here. I want to make sure you guys can see. Sometimes the comments cover things up. All right, so where these seams meet, I want to sew over those so I don't accidentally cut my corners off. Oops, I always forget this. I gotta get the wheel on the motor. There we go. All right, so I'm coming up to that first seam. All right, that's that first corner, I mean. Sure that seams are together again. All right. Next one's about right there. Okay, that's the first column in row 1, and we are going to do this. Did I abandon your Kenmore machine guy? Oh, nope. I have it back, and we can take a look at that later. So he was able to fix, so I have that other sewing machine. I've been using this black one, but I have my normal old Kenmore that's not quite as old as this one. Kenmore sewing machine. And I brought it into the sewing machine guy by me. And the reason was that my feed dogs, these little zigzaggy guys here, don't drop. Like, you can lower them. They lower as you sew, like they go up and down as you sew, but you can actually make the function to lower them, and then that helps with free motion quilting that we'll do eventually here. It helps things slide without having those zigzag teeth trying to moving them around. So he got them to drop, but with a lot of effort. So they haven't dropped in like ages, so like years and years and years. Like probably not since I've ever owned it. They're pretty stuck, he said. So I actually have to lower and raise them every once in a while, and I haven't since I got it back, which has been about a week. So every night or so, I should probably raise and lower them a little bit. Oop, jeez, throwing my scissors around here. So we can take a look at that tonight. That'd probably be a good idea. I need to make an effort to raise and lower it. He thinks that it's just stuck. So if I raise and lower them for a little bit of time, then it'll get used to it. All right, here are those points that we wanted to get. Oh, I clipped that one a little bit, but I think once we press it, it won't look like I totally clipped it. Ooh, and that one looks pretty good. All right, so this is that row 1. I'm gonna sew our sunshine on there. And again, I want to match up the bottom, so I'm going to start at the bottom here. I'm sewing first, and then I'll press after. All right, now that the stitching is starting, I'm just lining everything up again. Oh man, you guys, I started swimming again today, so I haven't swam in like really all of July because we've just been visiting family, and family's been here, so it's been kind of which has been really nice. It's been a nice family July. However, my whole going to the Y to swim has been a little bit off, so I started that up again today, and oh my god. If you want to be tired all day long, go swimming at 6:30 in the morning. You will feel completely wiped out for the whole day. So man, by the afternoon, I could hardly keep my eyes open. I was so exhausted. So that'll take a little bit of time to get back into. But it felt really, really good to be in the pool again. I thought I was just gonna, I don't know, feel like, ugh, why am I doing this again? But it was really, really fun. All right, I'm just double checking if I have to line anything up, and I do. I have a point there that I don't want to clip and a point there that I don't want to clip. So I'm gonna put this on top. So again, I can kind of see where those crisscrosses happen, and I'll aim for those. Yes, and made me super hungry. Although it's been, we don't usually go in the morning, but when we have, my husband and I, it's been so nice because, first of all, like we get up early. That's not as nice, but we get to go have coffee after and just chit chat, and it just turns out to be like a really nice morning every time we do it. So I don't know. I might try and not do it in the afternoon as much and try and do it in the morning, but that's going to require some pretty strict bedtimes. Otherwise, I'm just going to not be able to do it. I'm pretty reliant on my sleep to function during the day, and I don't fall asleep super duper quick or anything like that, so we'll see how long the morning exercising lasts. But for this week, I'm going to give it a go at least. All right, we have our rows sewn, so let's just take a look at them. We can snip them all apart now. Right, I want to just check, did we get our points here? Yep, that one doesn't look so bad. That one doesn't look bad either. It looks like we could even have gone in a little bit more without clipping them. But I think we are good there. So let's press these and then we'll sew them together. So I'm going to press the seam allowances. Oh, nope, that's not, here's a middle though. A middle laying around somewhere, so we'll have to use that for another one. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, all right, so here is this one. I'm going to press the ones with the blocks. I'm going to press the seam towards the middle just because that's where the blocks want to push it. And then the one with just the tiny square in the middle, that one I will push the seam allowance outward. Then my seam allowances for each row will be going in different directions. And that will help me nest the seams together. So there we go. Let's just hit it on the front again. There, that guy's looking awfully cute together. All right, now this one, I'm going the opposite direction. So instead of pushing them inside, I'm going to push them outward. So let's see what's the easiest way to do that. Let's just flip it this way. There we go. Let's get it one more time on the back. Okay, so here we go there. And then these ones will go towards the inside again. I thought I had two here for a sec, but that's just part of this block here. So that's kind of funny. This block had a little extra border in there. Oh my gosh, no, Elaine, I think that would not work for me. Switching off days, like getting up late some days and getting up early other days. I don't know. I definitely need a rhythm, otherwise it just stops working. I wouldn't be able to fall asleep if I got up early the one day and then not early the next day. All right, there we are. So now we can sew these seams together. So if I sew these two together, I think I'm going to use some clips for this too. So I want to match these seams up, and you can see that the seam allowances are going in opposite directions. That's good, because then we can butt those seams up against each other there, and by doing that, our seam should end in a nice point. So I'm gonna just, we'll clip this. Actually, I'm gonna clip this way because I wanna see, you know, we have some points on this block that I don't wanna lose, so I wanna see that. I want that on the top. All right, let's put these seams together too, even though they're really close. It'll be nice to have an extra pin on there. And you know what? I think I'm gonna just, for good measure, I'm gonna throw a clip on the edge here just to keep these together. And I have a clip right here, so boop. Okay, so I'm gonna sew this. And again, I'm trying to be cognizant of where these lines meet. Here's this tiny triangle. That's where these seams meet. Then I'll get the point right, and same here. That way I won't clip this point off or this bit right here. I suppose this too. Okay, let's try those rows and see how we do, and then we'll get this guy on, and then we'll press it again, and we will have a block that is ready to sandwich for the quilt as you go process. We won't bother with all that right now, but it'll be good that we'll have sewn a few of these sets of 4 together. Getting a little farther and a little farther. What's nice about this too is then I don't have all these blocks laying around in a stack anymore. It's they're ready for the next step. I won't lose any then, hopefully. All right, I'm coming up to that first point. Wow, and things are moving on me already here. All right, there's that first point, but look how much it's bubbling up here. So let's see what I can do for that. I'm just gonna pull on it a little bit. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see. Here's that second point. All right, try and get these seams together, but like I said, it's wanting to pull a little bit. I don't know how well we're gonna get this together. All right, second one. Let's get those seams. All right, and then the home stretch here. I think we'll remove that now and just line them up. Again. Okay, and then I need another leader. Let's get that. Oh, Barbara, you can do it. And if you are nervous, just start with some scrap and play around. I mean, I'm going to do that anyway. Just always start with a little practice scrap till it starts feeling okay. And just remember, the whole point of this is that we're learning stuff along the way. So if it's a record, like if the history of this quilt, when you look at it later, is like, ooh, this is when I decided to make the leap and try quilting. I mean, no matter what your quilting looks like, that'll be like a valuable memory, you know? At least that's how I look at all these. I look at all of these as learning things and like, ooh, this is where I learned how to quilt feathers, or this is where I finally figured out how to do that one bit or whatever, you know? Oh gosh, look how far off this is. So that is so far off. So what happened is when I started sewing this, I should have had the bigger piece on the bottom. so I started sewing it, and I was just concerned with getting these points, which those points look pretty dang good, actually. But it was pulling differently than this fabric. There was much more stretch, which makes sense because we have a lot of sewing on the bias here. There was a lot more stretch here than on this fabric, so I ended up with extra, and it kind of shifted over a little bit there. So whatever. That's how this one's going to be. I'm going to match up. Now, should I match the next row with this? I think I'm gonna. We're just gonna match it with this point and not shift it over a little bit. We'll be fine. Which machine do I prefer to sew on, the 70s Kenmore or the 30s? Well, okay, so this is the 30s Kenmore, the 1930, when was it? 1938, I believe, and then the other Kenmore that's right behind me here. We'll take a look at that later. That one is from the 70s. I can't remember, though, what year. I'm going to have to look that up again. But that one I'm way, way, way more familiar with. So I think that one I just know better. So I'm probably more comfortable with that one for sure. However, I'm going to put these the other way. However, this one is kind of more thrilling, I suppose, right now because I haven't, I'm less familiar with it and I haven't used it as much. So this one I'm going to kind of clip up here and see how we do. I want this, I should have this on the bottom, but I want it on top again so I can see where these points meet. What I could do, if I want to sew with that on the bottom, what I could do, because if you sew with the part that's a little stretchier on the bottom, isn't that right? Put the big on the bottom, then it's easier to match the top with it. So I'm thinking, what if I remember that these have that 1/4 inch mark on it? So the second mark on these small Wonder Clips is a 1/4 inch mark. So I could mark, well, I suppose I don't even have to do that. I can mark right where, oh my gosh, I can't hold these, right where those points are that I want to meet. So right there, and I can get another clip out. Here's the other one I want to match. So right there, yeah. And then these ones I'll flip, I'll put the other way. I think it's going to be easier to sew in this direction with the blocks on the bottom. And this one we don't have anything to match up with, so let's try it there. Let's see what happens now. Ooh, it's hard to see these two white pieces together. All right, let's see how it goes. Because now I can give a little kind of tug on it, and nice, Gretchen. And the bottom will pull, the big on the bottom will be pulled from the feed dogs, and then I can just kind of let the top slide over it. So as I'm kind of pulling on it, the bottom feed dogs are pulling back on me, and then it's kind of allowing the top to just go wherever it can. Therefore it's kind of stretching the top a little bit, but I don't think so much this time that it's going to be weird. So that's going to pucker or anything. So hopefully this turns out okay. All right, so this is the part with all the triangles. So we're aiming for right at the tips of these. That's where the points are. All right, so I'm going to remove that one. It was like right there. Okay. Ouch. Next up. Again, the big is on the bottom, so I'm letting that kind of stretch. Okay. About somewhere in there. Just trying gonna match these guys up. All right. Oh, I need another leader. Let's use the guy on this end here. This one's done. Okay. Oh, we are done with this. So let's see how we did on that, and then we'll give it a press over here. I want to see how well I did on the points there. Well, okay, for one, hello, that worked a whole lot better. This is what it's supposed to look like. This row lines up with this row, not a little jog like that in there. So that worked much better. This point's looking good. I didn't even think about lining up that point. Forgot about that one. But this one's not too shabby. That looks good. And then this point right here, also looking a-okay. So there, and then remember we had that little extra edge on the sunshine, so that'll help when we quilt. And I think we're good to go. The only problem, it did shift a little bit this way because that top one was goofy, but there's going to be a whole lot. We're going to have to add little sashing strips to a lot of these just because they're pressed in different directions, or they were just not perfectly 6.5 inches. All right, so I'm going to, I think I'm going to press, oh yeah, I need to press all the seams towards the inside again. That will help us line up with the sashing later once we add these to, actually I don't think it matters really. I can't remember. I think yeah, when we add the sashing, that will help the quilt as you go process later. We're gonna want these pressed towards the inside. I think that's how we did it. It's been a little while. Been a little while since we did the free motion, or the quilting process here, the quilt as you go process. So we'll probably have to press these again, but I'm just trying to get it as nice as we can before putting it away. Trying to at least get the sashing a little straight here. It's looking awfully cute though. It's always moves it ahead so much by just finishing the next step. Like look how much more finished it looks when it's a set of 4. Isn't that sweet? They're just so cute. So all right, I'm excited for this. I want to just kind of peek. I want to see what it'll look like attached to this guy. See? Continue the quilt here. Oh, these bright colors look cute with this. Yay! Oh, it'll be fun to quilt again. Gosh, we haven't quilted in ages and ages. Oh, and this says Chad on it. I hope we remember how to do it. All right, 1 done. That's good work. All right, let's move that to the side. Oh gosh, you guys, it is, we are running out of time already. So let's at least prep this next one. So this one is done. This little middle guy, let's press him because he's pretty dang wrinkly already. There we go. All right, our next set of 4 I have kind of tucked away up here. Oh, this one already had a middle, so we're gonna change that middle. Oh, this I think may be where this guy came from. Okay, there we go. Found his home. Oh gosh, did I sew? No, I didn't. It looks like, again, this is another one that looks like it has sashing on already, but it doesn't. So I need to grab, here's my little stack of sashing. We need I'm gonna get over here, you guys. We need a middle sashing there. I need to trim all these, press and trim all these as well, because like these two, it looks like I left extra around. So those ones for sure we'll have to trim. Like we got these little things hanging off of them. Gosh, I can't pick at these. There we go. Okay. So we are ready here. We just need to press and then check that these are 6.5 inches. Otherwise we need to trim the inside edges of them if they're not the 6.5 inches. So this one looks like it's probably fine as is, but let's just give it a little press. It actually looks like maybe it's another one that's a little on the small side. We will see for sure. All right, I just thought of something, but you probably shouldn't hold me to this. All right, yeah, that one's a little bit smaller than the 6.5. But I just got a couple more of these wool mats, and I have a couple, like 2 of those vintage, or those Amish ironing boards that I got from Shipshawana. And they've just been kind of in storage, but I brought one upstairs by all our clothing, and I got a couple of wool mats to sit on top of it. And hopefully every day I have nice, crisp, clean clothes now. We'll see. I have it in my head that I'm going to start ironing my clothes every morning, which sounds like crazy town because I don't like iron anything clothing-wise, but I feel like maybe I'm a little frumpier than I need to be. So I have it all set up, the iron, and I have an extra iron up there. It's all ready to go. So maybe I will have freshly ironed clothing. All right, this one doesn't need to be trimmed either. But like I said, don't hold me to it. We'll see. I'm trying to get a habit. I don't know if the feed dogs drop in the 1930s machine here. I bet you can take them out, like unscrew them, but there's no like button that lowers them, at least not from what I can tell. So I don't know. That is something that we'll have to discover, because it might be fun to attempt to quilt on there, because why not? All right, this one for sure we'll need to, I can tell that there's an edge on here. So we need to do these 2 edges, cut these 2 edges, but let's center it. Gosh, this elephant's cute. Man, this one took a long time to finish. It didn't necessarily take a long time to finish, but it sat around in our unfinished bin for quite some time. So 1.5 inches, 1.5, let's scooch. There, I think that's about good. Good and centered. Get the glove on. I am trying to keep up the glove habit. All right. Don't move. Ugh, moved a little, but we'll be fine. So I'm gonna do the 2, oh gosh, still moving. The 2 inside edges. I need to put more grippers on the bottom of these again, I think. All right, so these 2 sides. There, so now once we sew this all together, I mean, it looks like it's up in that corner, but that's what we want. Because remember, I'm leaving that extra edge on this side for the machine to kind of grab onto it or like pull in on it when it quilts. So it'll end up looking centered in the final piece. Now this one, we need to do these 2 sides, but this one needs a good pressing for sure. There's a lot of bias stretching. I mean, you can see it stretching, a lot of stuff happening there. Oh, iron clothes at night, ready for morning, ironing in the AM. Oh no. You know, that's a good point. Okay, that would also require choosing clothing at night. Oh, that might be an extra step I can't quite handle. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But it's I'm running an experiment. Let's call it that. I'm running an experiment of, can I figure out how to have pressed clothing? whether I have to start choosing clothing at night or pressing in the morning, I don't know. We'll see. All right, this one again. I'm going to leave extra. I'll probably trim this little bit off. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that by hand. Just kind of plop this little phalange off. All right, but let's try and, I don't know, center this as best we can. We kind of have a diagonal that we can kind of see if these arches are kind of centered on that diagonal. I suppose that's a way to do it. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to trim this side and this side now. Oh, Downy Wrinkle Releaser. So the problem is, okay, so this weekend, you guys, it was a refreshing weekend from the sense of that I went through all my clothing again and decided what was going to the Value Village by us here, what I was going to donate, and what I was going to keep. Because my drawers were pretty full and just stuff was everywhere again, right? So my drawers are still pretty full. So even with, like, I don't think the Downy Wrinkle Releaser would do anything because I'm stuffing it into these, I'm folding everything into these drawers after I wash anyway. So, but I did a pretty good clearing of it all. I'm pretty happy with it. Doing some tests on some clothing, some that I haven't worn in a while, and I'm like, you know what? Is this anything still? We'll see. So I'm running some tests, so maybe I'll slim it down a little bit more, but we will find out. All right, so you guys, I think we have this middle one sewn together. How much time do we have yet? We might be able to sew all this together yet. All right, so one thing to remember, we are aligning this bottom edge here and then this top edge here. You know, so I'm going to let the, you know, this extra dangle over here. So, all right, let's start with these two. And it doesn't look, ooh, this should go quick. We have no triangles, no points, no nothing that we have to match up on any of these blocks. So that should be real quick and easy. Awesome. So let's start there. Right sides together. And down to the machine here. Oh, you like these 4 blocks together, Barbara? Yeah, I think this one's looking cute. All right, I'm going to start sewing at the side that I want to match up, and it's the bottom, so I'm going to flip it over like this. Gosh, this should go super quick, these two, because we have that middle one sewn already. And, yeah, we don't have anything to match up on these. Easy peasy. Well, we do have to press them. So we'll do that. And then we have to match up the points, the like middle point. The center points, but that's it. Ooh, I kind of zigzagged that guy a little bit. Oh well. All right, let's take this top one off. Goes this way. Pretty. Fuzzle out of here. And we'll get this guy on here. Again, I'm going to sew from the bottom up so it matches. Get our edges together. Come on there. All right, and this guy. Oh, nice, Nolene. Nolene said that she went through her drawers and had to buy more tops to fill the drawer. So actually, I have done this before. I did a very, very big bulk going through of my clothes a while back. You know what? I think I'm going to trim the inside of this. I have extra fabric here that I don't need. So I'm going to just trim, unless that's a stupid idea. Nope, I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch seam allowance here. But I have gone through all my clothing before once, so it wasn't that dramatic or traumatic. It was just a couple extra bags that I got rid of. But the first time I went through it, I did get to, it did reveal some things that I like kind of needed. So some basics. So from going through the clothing, I was like, oh man, I need some more like plain long sleeve shirts to go under sweaters in winter, or, you know, like under wool sweaters or something. So it kind of revealed like what was lacking from my wardrobe, or the things that I needed to wear, the things that I wanted to keep yet. Like, I don't wear wool sweaters very often because they're super itchy. But now that I got those long sleeve shirts that I didn't know I needed until I tried everything on, now I'll be able to wear some of that stuff again. So I'm excited. But yeah, that first time around, it did. I got rid of a ton, like bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of stuff. But it also did reveal, yeah, some things that I needed yet. But it was thoughtful shopping, not just like binge shopping or something, you know? All right. But it feels good to have clean drawers again, and I'm just grabbing another liter. And knowing where everything is again, and everything put away and not laying everywhere. Expanded some areas and condensed other areas. All very nice. I would kind of think we're going to run out of bobbins soon here. I don't know, it just popped in my head, and sometimes when it pops in my head, it happens a little bit later. So, all right, here is our top. Cute, cute. And our bottom. All right, let's press these quick, and I think we'll just stay and finish this block. I think we'll only go like a couple minutes over doing that. Oh gosh, I did go through all jewelry and stuff too, so that had like a bonus going through of things with all that. Actually, I didn't go through everything, but I did go through everything that was upstairs. I didn't do the KonMari, the life-changing magic of tidying up thing where you gather every piece of like jewelry or clothing from the entire house. I just did what was in the bedroom. In by all the clothing. So I do know that in our bathroom closet, there's some extra jewelry stuff in there that I need to go through too. But that closet is a whole nother topic. I don't think yeah, that's the right piece. I was thinking this had a little extra border on it, but it doesn't on this side. Okay, let's match all these seams together. We'll do one row at a time here. So again, we're going to match them. So we have nothing that has to match up on these edges either, except for those center points. Bring one in, take one out. Yeah, I'm kind of along that lines too. I don't clothes shop hardly at all. So my husband, every once in a while, for like a birthday, he'll get me some cute clothing. But I don't just walk around and shop really. If I do get clothing, it's with a clear purpose. Like it's like, oh man, I need tank tops or something, you know? Or like I said, the long sleeve shirts. and I don't really just walk around and go shopping anywhere. So I don't know. Once I feel like, oh, I just got a bunch of new clothing, like I did for my birthday. I got a couple shirts and stuff. Then it felt time. Oh my gosh, I gotta clean. I gotta go through all the drawers and everything again. So I don't have a very clear in-out policy, but it is something that I do kind of do. You know, I can't add another dresser. Let's think about it that way. So everything that I have has to fit. I'm not adding more closet space or anything like that. So that's kind of my limit. All right, I'm just trying to match this up right away before removing that guy. So it's kind of a rule, right? Okay, I need another leader. Let's just grab the one from this side again. Yeah, it's kind of a rare occasion that I go to a store to buy something, like clothing-wise, and if I'm doing that, it's usually for something very specific, like I need something for a wedding or something. You know what I mean? It's very specific along those lines. All right, let's see how we did here. Oh, a lot better than last time. So that's pretty lined up. So is that. So good. All right, now let's do this side. Okay, matching up these points again. Actually, this also on the top. But yeah, that's, I mean, really the only time I'm getting something. Oop. Bonnie, I'm kind of with you. I do too much grocery shopping to enjoy clothes shopping. Yeah, that seems relatable. Oh, nice, Nolene. You can still wear your favorite jeans. My jeans are at a state that I think I need to repair some of them. So, you know, jeans come with like pre-done holes and stuff in them now. Well, some of those are getting a little bit big, and I need to address that somehow. So I think I need to do some darning and mending here at some point. All right, let's carefully remove these. All right. Now to the end, and we are done. I'm just kind of matching my ends a little bit here. Scooch that together. All right, I do need another leader this time. Nope. Okay, there we are. Right sides together. Okay. Just need to press this and we are done. We got another block done. I think we have 2 more that we have the ability to do at this point. So tomorrow, let's see how we did. Oh, that's matched up pretty good too. Good. So tomorrow I think we'll continue on this. We'll just get done with putting all these blocks that we have available into sets of 4. So we'll do this. I think I only have enough for like one more night's worth. So one more night of this, and then we will jump back to do that octopus. I do want to do that octopus this week. I don't know if we'll finish it this week, but I want to get back on the blocks. I don't want to get stuck in this world of quilting all these yet. But, you know, like I said, it would be nice to have them together. Oh, this is pretty. I like that little blue in the middle there. I'm kind of being random with what happens in the center here. Okay, so that one is looking awfully sweet as well. So here are the 2 that we did tonight. Oh, these 2 will look kind of pretty next to each other if that's what ends up happening as well. There we go. Cute. So yeah, we got 2 more together. There will be a little sashing in between here too, so there'll be another little cornerstone right here once they're sewn together. I like these little applique ones, and this looks awfully sweet. I do still like that. I like all of them. All right, you guys, I'm gonna flip you around and we'll call it an evening here. All right, hello again. So let me show you these. Get you situated here. All right, so we have this one. It's kind of fun to look at from far away too. You get a little sense of it. And then this one as well. So 2 more, a step closer to sewing. This one looks awfully pale. Like you got the yellow and yellow here and then the white border. I think they will go just right with the rest of them. So awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here again tonight on this Monday. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies if you want to take a look at it again. And I will be here tomorrow. Like I said, I think just one more day of this and we will have it done. So that would be 4 new sections. Ooh, that's enough to get us a whole nother row. Ooh, that's exciting once we get that far. But yeah, then we'll jump back to the blocks. We'll do the octopus block, that applique block next, and we'll see what happens after that. So thanks again, you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central. Good night.